Hi. It's quite an interesting Saturday afternoon, and I've gone and twisted my knee, so I can't do the things I wanted to do. So I'm taking a little bit of moment to respond to some of the seemingly endless discussions about plectrums on the Acoustic Guitar Forum. I am very much committed to the triangular shape, number 346 style, and I think they give you better value than a teardrop style, in as much as they give you 3 usable points, more obtuse points, i.e. about 60 degrees. They give you slightly more mass for the thickness, so a 100mm teardrop will actually be lighter than a 100mm triangle, and they just give you more grip. Of course, there are variables with plectrums, a number of variables. Not only is it the shape, it's the speed bevel, if there is one, or one that you wear into it, and there is the material, and there is the thickness. And we don't always know too much about the materials, but I won't get into that now. What I have got is what many people regard as the ultimate, which is a very, very old tortoiseshell plectrum, hawksbill tortoiseshell, now banned from commercial usage, and I am not in any way recommending the use of these. But this is probably the sort of tonality that many of us think of to aspire to with picks made of other composites. I decided to use my my plain old mahogany back and sides guitar with an Adirondack top. The strings have been used for about a month now, including 2 pretty long gigs this week, and so they're a long way from new. So there's no absolute glitter or spice in the strings anymore, but they're not completely dead. So this is the tortoiseshell pick sound. Now, we'll all look for something slightly different in a plectrum. What I look for is grip, comfort, a certain amount of attack on the bass, but fullness in the bass, and roundness in the treble. Nothing sharp or jagged in that tone, but definitely treble, clear treble sound. So that's not available to us. What is? Well, I'm going to go and start off with the thing that's my standard plectrum of choice, which is the Blue Chip TAD 50. Instantly I'm getting a little bit more attack. Incidentally, that tortoiseshell is, as near as I can measure, about 60. This is a TAD 50, lighter. So I've got a pretty full bass sound. Treble. Now if I go down to a TAD 40, more instant attack on the bass, but less fulsome bass. On the treble, the next slightly costly offerings are vegan picks from the Netherlands. I do like these. This is a TF140. A pretty good, strong bass. Not instant attack, but it's there. Treble. come back to the tortoiseshell for reference purposes. This is the TF-120, slightly lighter. Now, the other thing, that's probably the newest to the market, is the Jim Dunlop offerings, and I have one of each type. This is the sculpted one, which in other words is the plain brown version, 1.5. Entry into the bass is a little bit muffled. And this is the amber one, again 1.5. Again, it's called sculpted for some reason. I don't understand why they've brought out the two versions, but this is this one. And again, reference point. Blue chip tab 50. Wagon TF-140. Sculpted plectra by Jim Dunlop. Now we go on to the other things that are often cited. This is the Dunlop Ultex 1.14. Quite a lot of instant attack. Again, this is the reference point. And the Clayton 1.2. About to compare that with the Dunlop Ultex. The D'Andrea Plec Pro 1.5. Rather dull bass. Tortoiseshell. Now we come to the cheaper ones. This is a Gibson Heavy. I don't know what gauge this is, it's quite bendy, but it says it's a heavy. Lots of attack, not much tone there. This is an ancient one that I found by accident. This is a Tortex and the gauge is 1.14. So it's one of those old Tortex type things. Very little attack. sounding pick, not a lot of brightness, which of course could be an advantage for some. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 types. I stress again, tortoiseshell is no longer available. Blue chips are and are expensive. Vegans less expensive. Dunlop Prime Tone. To Andrea Proplec. Dunlop Ultex. Clayton. Gibson Heavy. And the old Tortex 1.14. There you go. Your choice, of course. Depends how much you want to pay for what you think you will get in return.